Hello and welcome to Witch and It's podcast episode 32. Wow. I'm Shy, I'm a witch and I knit and I do other crafty things like spinning, I do art, I do some bullet journaling, I've been doing some weaving, crafty things, and this is where I sit down every now and then and talk about it to you guys. Hello. Welcome back if you're a returning viewer, and a very warm welcome to you if you're new. So happy to have you all here. I do not have a great ton of things. I have all of 0 FOs. I wasn't thinking I would have a podcast up this week either. Sorry. I know I'm having a monster in almost every single video, but I usually film the day after I see my psychologist. This is an energy drink, not a beer. I usually film the day after I've seen my psychologist, and a lot of the times I have to take anxiety medication the day before filming, which leaves me with a very foggy brain. I'm very, very tired, can't think, hence caffeine. So I've also already had a huge tub of coffee, but it's not enough for me to function properly. So that's actually the first one I've had like in 1.5 weeks, so don't worry, I'm not living off of them, just almost living off of them. But anyway, I don't have a lot to talk about today, or well, I don't have any FOs, but I do have a few whips, and yeah, I think we should get started with whips. So I do have knitting, I have spinning today, so I'm going to start with the knitting. And the first thing I have to show you is in my cat and pumpkins bag. I showed this last week as well, but it's grown since. Well, last week, it was 2 weeks ago. I was thinking I wouldn't film this week either because I was feeling really under the weather yesterday, mentally. Shut up, phone. But I decided I want to film, so here we are. If I get very blown out over the course of the video, it's because the sun is out today and we have huge windows. I think I talk about that in every single video, but sometimes suddenly the sun just comes in and I just burn up like the vampire I am. But what's on the needles at the moment is a second ripper bralette. This is not hand spun, this is commercial yarn from Sostrene Grene, which is obviously fingering weight. Merino and nylon, 75/25, and yeah, I have one boob cover, what's it called, left to make of this, and the second strap. I just put the strap on a holder, well, it's a safety pin, because my holders are a little busy holding the back of the thing. But yeah, I did that instead of fastening it to the corresponding back tab, so that I can measure them to each other, because I thought that was clever, instead of doing what I did last time, which is I knit the strap, put it together with the back tab, and then did the other strap and had to work around that with measuring and stuff. And it's hard to measure, like when you try it on your back, on yourself. So I need David to be home and he's working a lot. So I did that instead. I think that's a clever tip if you're doing the ripple bralette. But anyway, I am knitting my second ripple bralette. This is a pattern by Jessie Maed Designs. Jessie Maed, I think, on Instagram. I will have her linked in the show notes down below. Which is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. It has a pay what you can type of deal with payment, obviously, and I think that is super nice, super clever. So yeah, it's very you can get a discount if you can't really pay for patterns a lot, and you can also have and then there are 2 tiers of payment. One that's like regular price, I think, and then one that's the highest one where you give a little extra. I think that's super neat. So yeah, ripple bralette. I made it longer than it's supposed to be because I like them to be crop tops. I like crop tops. I do not like sitting on my ribs crop tops. I'm wearing one of those today. I keep pulling it down. It's supposed to sit on my waist, but it climbs up on my ribs, and that's uncomfortable. But yeah, anyway, I made it longer, and yeah, I think that's the only modification I've done to this one. I made it longer, even longer than my hand spun one that I wore last week. Maybe it's about the same length, but this time I did it all in one go, so I didn't have to like pick up the edges. Sorry, there's a helicopter outside. Bye, helicopter. I didn't have to pick up the cast on stitches and knit downwards for this one. I did that on my first one. But yeah, the only modification I've done is I've made it longer. The bottom ribbing is longer, this part is longer, and then I did this hack of doing the fastening both at the same time to the back of the bralette because measuring. So yeah, that's the ripple bralette that I am working on. Like I said, it's Sostrene Grene yarn. They do not have colourway names. I cannot remember the numbers. I don't know if I have a ball band. But it's purple and it's from Sostrene Grene. Which is a shop that has lots of like tiny little home decoration things and some yarn and some candles and tea and stuff. So yeah, that's that. Again by Jessie Maed Designs on Ravelry. So my hair is everywhere. I keep trying new things with my hair. I don't know if I like this, but I kind of do. It's almost the same as I did last time, but it's all my hair in pigtails instead of just 2 little pigtails. But anyway, my sock blockers have gone absolutely missing. I have no idea where they are. So you're gonna have to see a floppy sock. I'm sorry about that. But my next whip lives in my penguin bag. Yes, I say penguin on purpose because it's funny. It's penguin, I know. But in here lives a bunch of different yarns and my sock design that I am working on. This is my first sock. Finished it. Yay! I'm going to have to work a lot on how the pattern is built. It works, but yeah. I'm new to this, don't judge me. I'm new to actual colourwork designing, and this is a little bit of colourwork, but yeah, this is like a perfect scrappy project thing, like somebody said in the comments a couple of weeks ago. That was actually my intention, because I have a ton of scraps, like the white is a scrap and this is a scrap. Like I dyed this, but I dyed it from a bit of like scrap, and this is an obvious scrap. I have this scrap living in here, that's not in the sock, but it's cute. This is pepperminty. No, this is not pepperminty. Pepperminty is my yarn. This is Peppermint Creams by the Fibre Fox. My favourite yarn. It's so pretty, but it doesn't go with this sock. So yeah, I think I can talk a bit about what like my inspiration for this sock has been. Like I dyed this. Oh yeah, I should show the second sock. I have gotten this far on my second sock. So I am past the colour work at the top, so I'm working down toward the heel at the moment. I haven't picked this up. Oh, actually I've been working on it this week. Never mind. But yeah. Ta-da! Yes, what inspired it is I dyed this and it came out like this by mistake. At first I tried to break violet food colouring. If you have been watching Chemnitz tutorials, she does a lot of breaking violet food dye and other dye on her yarn dyeing tutorials and adventures. You should check her out. Super interesting channel, love it. But I tried to do that with I think it's Dr. Oetker food gel dye, and like in hers the red dyes strike faster than the blue dyes, so you end up with a nice gradient from the purple kind of to a light blue. It's super pretty. It looks like, you know, arcane magic, something like that. And this did the opposite. The blue struck instantly, and then there was this really washed out pink at the top. So I tried to over dye it with black to see if I could make like black speckles across the whole thing, because I thought, well, that's gonna look cool, isn't it? That didn't happen. All of the black washed out, despite using like the proper amounts of vinegar and steam and all of that. Didn't work, didn't stick. Well, it kind of did, because like the grey and green tones of it stuck. So I ended up with this, which reminds me a lot of like pigeons. So I've called this yarn Dovecut. I don't know if I can ever make this again, which is a pity, because I would like to make something bigger out of this colour, because it knits up really, really pretty, as you can see. It's like mini stripes, and with parts of it being kind of, I don't know, I really, really like how it's knitting up, but I don't think I can replicate it. But anyway, out of that inspiration, I like piebald animals. They're really pretty. So I'm calling this sock piebald, and it is inspired by piebald pigeons. So, and it is perfect for scraps. So that is my thoughts behind this pattern. So it's got white, grey, purple, white, obviously, and the Dovecut. But obviously this could be made in any colours. It's just what drove me to design this specific pattern. So, and luckily I had all those colours as scraps. So, lucky me. It all worked out perfectly. But yeah, that is my sock. I have gotten this far. Like I said, on the second one, I am a bit away from the heel. I really want to exchange what needles I'm knitting these on. I'm knitting on 2mm needles, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with Knit Pro Zing, only that this one, this needle, which is the one I have to push backwards through all of the stitches, has gotten bent in the metal, so it has this little lip of metal that catches on all the yarn. It's super annoying. So, but I can't find my other pair of 2mm needles. Been turning the computer / craft room upside down, can't find it. So that's going to be my mission for this weekend. Or I could just put it on another pair of needles and switch these around, so I knit with that needle, because it should work going through the yarn that way. So anyway, that's that. I need to buy a new pair of 2mm needles. I knit all my socks and these things, what they're called, wrist warmers? Half mitts? Mitts! God, you can tell my brain is not quite there. I knit all of that for me on 2mm because I've got such tiny hands and feet, so everything else is like enormous on me. So yeah, they get a lot of use, so I'm not surprised this pair is starting to fall apart since I bought it like 1.5 years ago or something. So my third whip, super exciting. I cast on out of these yarns, you know what it's going to be if you follow me on Instagram because I posted it the other day. But I cast on 2 days ago, or is it 3 now? No, it's 2. And I'm so bloody excited about this. I cast on Gardengate. Oh my god. It is gonna be so amazing. This is Gardengate by Jennifer Steingass, and I am knitting this out of Opal for the black, and this, which is the contrast colour, is Stranded Dyeworks in Gingerbread Haus, because I had a bit more than half the ball left after knitting a pair of socks, which I thought would be perfect to put in this one as the contrast colour. I love how the colours are coming out in the pattern. Sorry about grabbing my chest area like this, but I need to do that to keep this on. But yeah, this is going to be amazing. I am so enjoying this knit so far. We all know I love a good colour work, and this is my first time knitting a Jennifer Steingass pattern. I've got 2. I'm knitting a Wintersole for David sometime soon. As soon as he's bought his yarn, he needs to decide on what colours he wants. I'm knitting that for him, and I'm probably going to knit one for myself as well. But yeah, this is just so fun and so gorgeous. Sorry about all the floats, even the floats are cute though, but yeah, this pattern is everything. I'm gonna find my favourite. I was so lucky with with the colour speckles. It is this one, where there's just a blip of green in the middle of this thing, dead in the middle. It's so perfect. I love this so much. I have a soft deadline for myself because I am going to a wool and sheep festival in the end of February with my sister-in-law. It's gonna be amazing. It's called Fårfest i Kil, which is sheep fest in Kil, and Kil is a place like 3 hours from where we live, so we're going on a weekend trip. Yay! I don't think I've ever just gone with a friend on a weekend trip, but we're going and it's going to be great. It's going to be the 2 of us and all the yarn and all the... So excited, but I really want to finish this so I can wear it for Fårfest, and I need to modify the soldatna I knit last year so I can wear that as well. We're going 2 days, getting there 1 day, spending some time at the Fårfest, staying the night, going to the Fårfest for a while on the Sunday, then we're going home. So it's going to be amazing. I'm super excited. But yeah, I really want to finish this for that. So, and it's funny because she's also knitting a Steingass pattern at the moment. She's knitting Arboreal, I think. But yeah, we're having a low-key Steingass along. So yeah, it is fun. And I really like this. I can tell I'm gonna be wearing this a lot. I'm thinking about modifying the pattern because it is a long sweater, jumper, and I feel like that is kind of, because it's got a bit of shaping as well. It's something I don't think I'm going to wear a lot. I like, if I'm to wear a long jumper or cardigan, it has to be very oversized, and this isn't obviously not going to be oversized. So I'm thinking about making it cropped. But I think this pattern is also slightly longer in the back, so I'm thinking about doing it cropped and longer in both the front and the back, so it's like it's got that shape at the bottom. I have a t-shirt like that and I really like that design, so I'm thinking about doing that for the bottom of this and just cropping it at my waist, but we'll see about that, because I love this so much already and I don't want to knit something that's a cut that I'm not going to be wearing a ton because it doesn't suit my style. So, or my body for that instance. Probably does, but I don't wear jeans, and a longer jumper that's fitted is a perfect thing to wear with trousers or jeans, and I don't wear those. I don't like those. I like wearing oversized things with leggings, or I wear dresses or skirts. So that is my plan for this. Totally not anything to do with wanting to knit less. Don't care about that. I really enjoy knitting stockinette in the round, so it's not that, it's just that I want to wear this to bits, literally, but please don't fall apart. So that is what I am working on. So I've got 2 more balls of Opal. That is my stash enhancement for this week in black. So yeah, that is what they have at the yarn shop, and I have a little grumble about that, but I will talk about that after I've talked about spinning. So for spinning, I am so disorganised. I'm sorry if this is your first episode. Hello. I'm always like this. I'm sorry. I was going to say I'm usually not like this, but I am. Disorganised, unprofessional, and can't remember the names of people. I'm glad one of the patterns I'm knitting is my own, because that's hard to forget. But yeah, I remember the other 2 today, and that is almost a first. But anyway, sorry. Here we go with the sniffles. This is also, happens every time I get sniffly. But yeah, spinning. I am still working on my mouse fibre from Barn to Yarn. I wound some off on a roll bobbin. Let's call them bobbins. I wound half of it off already, and well, it's probably a little less than half, and I'm working my way through the last row lags. I've got 1 full row lag left to spin after I'm done with this, and yeah, I haven't been spinning a lot lately. Actually, I've been very monogamously knitting, because I have a few very entertaining projects at the moment. After Ripple, I'm totally into knitting another one. If I get more of the, like, if I have not enough for another cropped sweater left of this, I'm going to knit a Ripple out of black. But I don't think I'm going to have enough for another sweater. But there's a lot left of this after getting just, I'm past halfway through the yoke. The sweaters, they eat yarn, so somewhere down the line in the future there's going to be a black Ripple bralette. But yeah, spinning. I was talking about spinning. So this is my current project, and like I said, this is from Barn to Yarn on Etsy, will be linked below as everything else, and I am spinning obviously on a drop spindle, and the rolag is at the state where it's looking kind of inappropriate at times, but they're really pretty when they're like the full rolag, because it's half blackish brown with sparkles and half pink. But when you get to a certain point, it starts getting a little bit interesting in colour. Yeah. If I do some spinning this weekend, I can totally finish the singles. I have almost decided I'm going to 3-ply this as well, because it is spinning a pretty thin, and I'm not sure I want to do a 2-ply. Because when do I ever use 2-plies? I don't really use 2-plies. I use 3-ply yarn. I use singles, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with all of this single. It's probably not going to turn into anything if I keep it as a single. There's a lot of yarn on here. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with this after, but I hope to pick up a lot of wool, well, some wool at least at Forfest, because I don't really have a lot to spin after this is done, so I think that is why I'm not really working on it. I have this bag of pastel rainbow fluff from Spin Jones, but I want to pair that with black merino, which I don't have at hand. I'm thinking about just ordering some, because I don't like the idea of having nothing to spin. I also have a bag of alpaca, but I kind of want to mix that with something else. So yeah, and I don't have any tools to process the fluff, and that fluff isn't really processed. So yeah, no, I might just order some black merino next week. But I'm hoping to find some fluff at Forfest. I've just moved past this spinning process. There's not a lot else to say about this. It's pretty, and I like it, and I'm probably going to 3-ply it in a chain ply. Ta-da! Putting it to the side. So, yarn festivals, actually kind of exciting, because like I've had no know-how about any of the Swedish yarn events. I know about the Syfestivalen, which is like a sewing festival, which is one of those huge, not really conventions. There are some courses and workshops, I guess, but like it's where you can buy fabric and you can buy yarn and stuff. It's enormous, and I really don't want to go because it's too many people. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people at Forfest as well, but it's going to be fun. But yeah, I knew about that one, but I never went because people. And there is going to be one in Stockholm in the end of April, Stockholm Yarn Festival. Or is it called Yarn Fest? I keep wanting to call it Yarn Fest. I'm going to have to check it on Instagram. Had the camera open. Awesome. Yarn. It's called Yarn Fest. Yarn Fest Stockholm. And I really want them to release the tickets soon, so I know if I can go, but I am planning on going. I really want to go. That is, again, end of April, if anybody wants to come. Any people going to any of those two, Yarnfest Stockholm or Forfest, they should come up and say hello. I'm awkward in real life, but that's no different from me on camera, is it? So... yeah, no, I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait. It's going to be super fun. Also kind of nervous because people, but I feel like yarn festivals are generally kind of safe in the sense that it's full of other introverted people who like squishing yarn. So But yeah, that's happening. I'm venturing out into the world. Who am I? A little bit scared, actually, but it's gonna be alright. I wouldn't go if I was alone. But yeah, if anybody's coming to Stockholm Yarn Fest, please say hello, because I'm planning on going. Yeah, grumble about these. Not about the yarn in particular, but I've talked about this yarn shop before. I'm not going to name any names because I want to support them, because they're a local yarn shop and they have like knitting cafes and they do stuff and they have yarn, and that's good. However, there's this one lady that works there who seems to think that if you're like under the magic age of, I don't know, 45, 50, you don't know anything about yarn or knitting. And it's kind of annoying. So, I've talked about it before, because that's the same shop I went to ask if they ever sold sock blockers, and she was like, nobody blocks the socks, you don't need to block your socks. Socks block themselves on your feet. What even are sock blockers? Sock blockers don't exist. And then she turned to David and told him to make me a pair of sock blockers at home from wood in the garage. And I was like, I think I can make my own bloody sock blockers. I know how to work wood. She said that was totally not in an inappropriate way. I grew up in a wood workshop. So, now actually the sock blockers I do have, I designed and helped make them, but my dad made them for me because he's the one with the wood workshop and big scary machines that I don't like using. That's one of the annoying things that have happened at that shop. Another time I was in there looking at, I always walk in there and know what I want, so it's not like I ask them about everything like a noob. And even if you're not a noob, you can totally ask people for things, but like they seem to think you're a noob because you're young or something. But well, she does. There are other super sweet ladies there. I've got an amazing help there from other people, but it's just this particular lady. She did the same thing she's done to me to another girl who was about my age, which is 28-ish, but at the time maybe around 26. She was in there with a boyfriend and she was asking for yarn because she was knitting this sweater and she had the pattern and she knew what yarn, and she was like, oh, if you're knitting a sweater you should be using this or that yarn and blah 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 blah. And I was like, I could just see her go like, what? And I was like, I know that feel. So what happened with this, sorry that was a long tangent, but like backstory, it's not just me, it's people my age, and she's obviously got a problem with us, which is annoying because people at any age can knit and any gender can knit and anything can knit. But yeah, so I walked in, I had a look around because I knew what I was looking for. Obviously I was looking for black fingering weight yarn, preferably superwash, and with a little bit of nylon content, because I wanted to match this yarn, which is superwash merino nylon. So I had a look-see, and it is really bloody difficult to find fingering weight yarn in Sweden, let me tell you. I don't know what it is, but it's like you can't really find it. If you're lucky, they have Shopperwolle, and if you're really lucky, they have like Opal or Malabrigo. But usually when they have Malabrigo, it's either the thicker weights or it's lace. Never Malabrigo sock. There's this one shop in Stockholm that I really like, and they're super nice. They have a lot of fingering weight, but any old place you can buy yarn, like the craft shop or anything, nobody has fingering weight. I don't get it. It's the best yarn weight. I love fingering weight. I knit everything out of fingering weight, but it's sport. Usually DK, that's like the most common. DK and Aran. And bulky. I don't know, but anyway, the thinnest they had was Sandnes Sisu, which is sport weight. So I did was just ask them, maybe they have, because they had a basket of Opal on the floor, but no black yarn. So just ask them, I really don't want to talk to that lady because I know it's going to be, I said that to him, I really don't want to talk to her. But I sucked it up. I talked to her. I said, because she was like, oh, you're looking for something, can we help? Yeah, actually. Do you have Opal in black? Because I'm looking for yarn, 420 meters per 100 grams, because we don't say fingering weight in Sweden for some reason. And there were two ladies there at the time, and one of them was, oh yeah, absolutely, I'll go check it in the back because we don't have any in the basket, so I'll go check in the back. So she plodded off and checked for me, super sweet, instantly, like, oh, she wants this, I'm gonna check if we have it. The other one goes on to say, what weight did you say again? So I said fingering weight. And she was like, that's a really unusual weight. That's a really unusual name for that weight. Oh, you know, Americans and Brits, they say different things. Some of them say 4-ply, and some of them say fingering, but that's really, really uncommon. And we, but we have this. And she pulls out the Sisu, which is, again, sport weight. I was like, yeah, but that's slightly thicker. I'm looking for 420 meters per 100 grams. And she was like, yeah, but this is like the same. And gauge, like when you make the swatches, it's the same gauge, and it's about these many, and you can only measure yarn weight by how many stitches per 10 centimeter swatch. No, you can measure it through wraps per inch. Or meters per gram. There are lots of ways to measure yarn, and a swatch will be different from person to person. You what? And then she went on to pull out another Sandnes in the same weight, and also it's still a bit thicker. I'm really looking for fingering weight. Oh well. This other yarn, 420 per 100, this is 300 and whatever, sport weight is 60. And she just kept saying it's the same thing, and I was like, no, it's slightly thicker, and I'm not gonna knit with that. It was terrible. She kept on yarnsplaining this to me for the longest time, and like, I don't know anything about, it's like, I ask for a specific thing. It's not like, if I go in and say, I'm knitting a thing and I don't really know what yarn I need, can you help me? Then it's fine to like, be like, we have this and you could use that and you could use that, but I'm asking for a specific yarn. I know what the f I'm looking for. You could either say, no, sorry, we don't carry that weight. Or you could say, I'm a look, like the other lady did. Not, safe to say, I was pissed off for the rest of the evening. It took a very lot of energy to keep my cool in there. But the other lady came back with 3 balls of yarn, because those were the last 3 black yarn balls they had of Opal. So I bought all 3 and went on my not so very merry way. But seriously, I hate going on rants. I hate being angry. I'm not an angry person, but shit like that grinds my gear. It's like, and she has this snooty attitude, like if you're under this age, you don't know what you're talking about. No fingering weight is not uncommon. It's not an uncommon way to say the specific yarn weight. So that happened. That's the one interesting thing. That's one interesting thing that happened to me this week. I usually don't have things. This happened to me this week. Story time, because I don't do a lot of things. But the one time because I never shop there because I don't like them. Well, I don't like her. And it stresses me out to go there because I never know if she's going to be there and she's going to be snooty about something again and make me feel like I don't know anything about it. Because that's the thing, it makes me second guess myself as well, because my brain is like that, and I was in a relationship before David where I was constantly gaslighted and stuff, so she doesn't know that, obviously. So I'm not blaming her for me reacting that way, but the way she does things is very messy, messing with my brain, and I don't want to go there. But the one time I'm like, okay, I'm close to this shop, I need this yarn, I really don't want to order online because it's also very hard to find online in Sweden, and I don't want to buy super expensive yarn for it from Etsy when I want a solid black. I would if I had the money, but I don't really, so I wanted a bit cheaper yarn. So the one time I actually get over myself, go in there, brave my fears, and also actually ask. That happens again, and I'm just like, no, I'm not going there anymore. It just ain't happening. And I mean, I was wearing hand knits. I was wearing my Cal and my Cow. I had my Selbu mitts. I had hand knit socks. I had a hand knit headband. It's like I'm fully decked out in my own hand knits, and I'm like, are you assuming it's my mum or grandma who knit them, or what? What's the deal? Why do you think I don't know what I'm talking about? So, if the lighting is different and everything, and my energy is slightly different, it's because I had to go and empty the card. So I've been away for a bit. But yeah, that gave me an opportunity to cool down a little. Why do I look so red? It has to be the lighting also. Why am I not in focus? There we go, I think. Sorry, I literally cannot see. But yeah, no. That happened this week. And I am thinking about just going there in even more hand knits, like when this is done, this shirt and something, and just see what happens. If they still try to yarnsplain me or not, but yeah, no, yarnsplaining, I hate it, don't do it, it's dumb. But yeah. Knitting plans. I need to find a cardigan pattern for a huge, I'm gonna show you. So I have this huge cardigan thing that I love wearing. It is very oversized, it is very big, it is a men's medium. It is David's from the start, but he didn't want it, so I took it, but sadly, I think he got it on sale, and just because it was so cheap, sadly it's like acrylic only, might be like 10% wool or something, but last time it went through the wash it sort of started disintegrating, so I really don't want to wear it anymore. But I need to find a huge cardigan pattern, so if you've got any suggestions, hit me up. I'm thinking about making a Mazzy cardigan, but I really just want something enormous, because I like oversized things. Then again, a lot of things do end up being oversized for me in a way because I'm so short. But God, struggles of being short. Sorry if I'm like a little bit zoned out at the moment. I'm a little bit zoned out. Dot. Period. Sorry if I'm zoned out. I'm zoned out. God, I'm getting a little bit tired. But yeah, I have plans for that. I need to make a couple of project bags at some point, and I need to be making, I'm already behind in bullet journaling, but I kind of want to make a video for February, so I'm thinking about doing that. I also need to sketch flowers for painting on the harpsichord my dad and I are painting together. He builds harpsichords, I've talked about this in the past, and we are decorating the soundboard of one together, which is super fun. But I need to I need to draw a bunch of flowers. Might actually film, because I need to get my butter gear in and actually do some drawing, and maybe that will be motivating. I don't know. I feel like I had something else to talk about today, but I've completely forgotten. That's not good. But yeah, my brain is super mushy. Not just because I had to have medication yesterday, also because like this week, you know, I've been so stressed out, like all the way over Christmas, all the way through what's the name of the last month? December. All the way through December, over Christmas, up until now in January. I'm just so, I can't wind down. I've never been able to. I've been stressed almost my whole life. It's one of my disorders. We have been talking about that, my psychologist and I, and I'm just trying to stop and breathe, and that is difficult because I don't know how to do it. And this week my body has been like, nope, had enough. So I've been having the worst time with, like, you know, stress-induced stomach cramps all week. And finally better today. I ate only yogurt yesterday, vegan yogurt, mind you, to see if that would help, which it did. So I'm feeling a lot better today. I thought maybe yesterday when I got home from my psychologist, I was like, no, if I still have this terrible pain tomorrow, I'm not going to film, because I would just sit here and be like, my stomach all the way through. But luckily it's better today, so that's good. But that has not been fun. It's been a very long time since I felt the stress in that way, so I really need to not do. It's not like I'm doing all the things, it's just this constant inner stress of being stressed and feeling like I don't have time to do this or that or this or that, and then I stress myself out over that, and then I stress myself out over stressing over the fact that I'm not doing anything. It's like if I just sit and knit, that's all I'm doing for one day, I feel guilty and stressed out because I haven't done some drawing or what have you. So that's something that's, it's like all my issues have just amped up a lot lately. It's terrible. It's been manageable when I had therapy, but next week is the last time I'm seeing my psychologist, and she can only do so much because we have this very limited amount of time. So it's mostly just me explaining all of my issues to her, and she giving me perspective on it, that it's okay to not do anything, because before it's like I keep getting from whoever I'm seeing at the moment that, like, it's good to push yourself to do things, and it's good to do things every day, and have hobbies and do more than one thing a day and stuff, and I just cannot handle it mentally, and which leads to more guilt about not being able to, like, I want to be able to do nothing for a day, like not even knit, do absolutely nothing, watch a movie. I don't watch movies because I feel like that's time wasted that I could be using on doing other things, which I then don't do. it's super bad. And this is like the first one who's been like, just do nothing, because of course you're stressing yourself out, and of course you feel terrible if you don't have any boundaries and can do nothing. So you really need to find like ways to relax. And this is like news to me because I've been going through therapy and psychologists and counselling for 6-7 years now in a row, and it's always been this focus on getting better, getting back to a point where you can start getting back into working, and finding some sort of like daily thing that you go to away from your home. And this feels like this is the first time she sees what level I am on. It's of course I want to be able to get away from my home every day and do stuff. I would love to be able to do that, but I just can't. I just can't, and I don't know, I'm so sad I don't get to see this person after this, because I feel like it's helpful with seeing people, and it's been helpful over the years in other aspects, but it's also been this constant stress of having to get better, which I've gotten way worse over the past year, and I don't know, feels like it keeps getting worse, and I'm trying to fight that, but you can't really sometimes turn it around. And it's not like you give up, but sometimes it does get worse, and that's okay. And you have to try and work through it instead of working against it, because that will just make it even worse. I don't know. I'm probably the worst person to give advice on this, and I'm not really trying to. I'm trying to. This is just me channeling what I am thinking at the spot, but it's. I don't know, I'm so confused over the whole thing. Everything about this is super confusing at the moment, and I've gotten so many new like insights since getting my BPD diagnosis in autumn, and I don't know, it's just so much, and I feel like life and everything around me is so much all the time that I everything is just rushing past me. I can't take it all in. I don't know what it is. I blink and it's Friday again, and it's like, oh no, it's Friday again. What have I done this week? I don't know. I don't know even how I even got to talking about this. I'm sorry. Again, if this is your first episode, I'm not talking about mental illness and mental health every time I talk in videos, but it is something I feel like is super important to talk about. And since this is like basically the only thing that happens in my life, sometimes I do talk about it because I feel it's important, and it's a way to also get your thoughts in order. But yeah, I do not think I have an awful lot more to talk about. I've talked about my running with a LYS, and I've talked about that's all that happened this week. Pretty much. I'm excited because we're going to start playing Dungeons and Dragons instead of the current role-playing game we're playing at the moment, which I'm not really enjoying. It's too much thinking for me in that game. A lot of maths involved, and I don't really. It's complicated, but excited about that. I'm gonna play a druid, of course, because I'm predictable. But yeah, I'm excited about that. So I'm going to be sewing another dice bag as well, because mine is pretty small. I totally want to order more dice. We're doing that soon, and What am I doing more? Am I doing more things? The plants are waking up after winter. Everything is starting to sprout more leaves. It's super exciting. It's still January, but we haven't had any snow since the start of winter, and it's kind of warm and the sun is out a lot at the moment, so the plants think it's spring. Luckily they're not outside, so they won't just die if the snow decides to show up and we get like all February is snow and 10 negative degrees. But yeah, everything's starting to wake up, and that's very nice. And yeah, that is the status with that. I don't know. I'm super excited about getting back into plants. I think I touched on that last time. I actually came home from my parents with a couple of new plants, a couple of Pilea peperomioides, pups of mum's plant, and also a Hoya pubicalyx, which I'm super excited about. So I'm gonna make another plant tour in the future, I think, because it's changed quite a bit since I made one in like one of my, I want to say earlier episodes, like I think the first or second one I made after we moved here. So yeah, and this one is looking perkier as well. It's looking a bit sparse, but that's because I had to cut it down a bit. But it's got lots of new things coming out, so that's super exciting. Lots of new leaves actually, or fronds I should say. So, like I said, that's pretty much all I have to talk about this week. And I've got nothing major coming up until the end of February. So I'm gonna keep my group. I still haven't done the things I said I would. I might do it this weekend, but it's also one of those things that does kind of stress me out. So I keep not doing it, which stresses me out. So I should get on it, and then I need to keep it up. So it stresses me out. I don't know. I want to have like an active group. I want that thing, and I want to be a part of that. But it's just this mental hurdle that I have to get over, and I'm really sorry I haven't yet. I'm going to try and do it soon, because I want to like have a cal and stuff, and it's hard to have unless you get your group in order. But yeah, I am going to shut up and go and edit, and yeah, knit some more on my Gardengate sweater because I'm so excited about it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, sticking through the longer than usual episode today, and my angry rant and my sad sidetrack of I feel bad. I'm sorry about that, but if you would like to keep seeing what I do and craft and draw and whatever, consider subscribing and liking this video. Comment something. Liking and commenting and stuff is good. Talk to me. I like talking to people, even though I'm really bad at replying. Sorry, I keep trying to be better, but I fail. I am better for a week, and then I'll fail because it's like, oh no, I need to keep this up, and keep talking to me. I will eventually reply or like your things, and because I really want to connect, but I'm just bad at doing it. I'm super sorry, but yeah. Please like, please subscribe, and I will talk to you again in my next episode, which is hopefully in a week, otherwise in 2. So have a lovely weekend, and week after that, and perhaps another weekend, a week after that. We'll see. Depends, but hopefully just a week. And I will talk to you again soon. I don't know how to sign things off. I'm sorry. But yeah, have a good time. Bye.